In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can tell if your AC compressor is bad or going bad. So basically, I wanted to make this video just because I recently changed mine with my father-in-law. I just want to show you real quick the things that I had to take out. Just a couple tips here that are going to make it a lot easier for you if you're able to do it on your own. Save you probably about $800 to $1,000 rather than just bringing it in somewhere, because they're going to take out a lot more than you need just to make it easier for them to access it. So I made a little chart here, just kind of showing this is like the route of the Serpentine belt right here. So it's just a good thing to write down in case it isn't like on a picture on your car or something. Also pretty easy to find online, but just in case. So in this 2004 Ford Taurus, we have the power steering pump. That's the top one right there. There's the power steering pump. Goes over that pulley, goes over the AC compressor. That's what you're going to be replacing. Goes over the alternator, and that is down there. Then you have your tensioner, which you can see the yellow right there, and that's the top of the tensioner. It goes under that. And then down way at the bottom is the crankshaft pulley. So good thing to write out, and also just the direction, just so you know, because the belt is only so long, so it helps you to remember exactly how it goes when you put your belt back on. But basically what I did, being there's so little room here, it's very, very hard to get it out, and you want to take out as little as possible. So what I did was I took out the fan shrouds right here and right here, and I took out the fuse box, and I took this wiring harness, just unclipped it from a couple clips here, and just kind of tossed it out of the way. These fan shrouds, you're gonna have to take out any electrical connectors. You can just label them with tape or just let them hang there. They're pretty clear where they will go back. Each one had one single bolt. I want to say it was an 8mm, it may have been a little bit smaller. You're just gonna take those out, keep them, make sure you know which one went where, I think, in case they're different sizes. You're gonna take the fuse box out. There are, I'm not sure if you can see here, there are two clips, one right there, one right there. Just gonna take a flathead screwdriver, and it's gonna flip up. So then you can just bungee it out of the way or just kind of push it out of the way. I also had to take out, in my case, I already had to take out the battery to recharge it. My battery is completely dead. So there are 4 bolts to take out the housing that it sits on right under it, this plastic housing. And those, they were pretty rusty, but they were very easy to actually get out with an impact drill and a ratchet. So just helped me gain a lot more access. And then basically how you do it, I'm going to show you my old compressor here in a minute. Let's see if you can see the AC compressor right there. You can see where the belt goes over it. And I'll point as well. This right here, end of my finger, that is your AC compressor. And usually what goes bad on it is the thing right where the belt goes over. So the pulley itself just starts to deteriorate. You hear a rattling. You lose your air conditioning if it's in the summer. In my case, it happened in the winter, so it was just very, very loud. And a lot of times that can also cause your AC compressor to seize. So normally it's supposed to spin super fast when your car is running with the belt going over it. If it seizes, it's going to make it very hard for that pulley to turn, and likely that could eventually cause your serpentine belt to snap, which did happen to me, and I'll show you that as well. In that case, you just fix the part, you get a new serpentine belt, and you're good to, and also you're gonna have to fill it AC compressor back up with a Freon, and then you're good to go. But basically the route that I took, there were 4 bolts and 1 electrical connector, and I'll show you those in a little bit, on the AC compressor. You get your new compressor, you take the 4 bolts out of the one in the car once you're able to actually get your hands down there after taking the fans out. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna run it along the frame of the bottom of the car, because of these pipes and just different and hoses and different things that are harder to get out. You don't want to have to drain coolant and a bunch of other stuff. You take the bolts out, you run it along the very bottom of the frame, just kind of drag it along until it's right under here. And without this here, and without that housing there for the battery, you just lift it right up and out. And then you're going to use the exact same reverse process for bringing the new one like just along the bottom of the car. And it does actually help a lot as well if when you jack up the car in the front, there's like 6 to 8 small bolts just to take off the plastic off the front of the car on the bottom. It makes it a lot easier to access underneath. And then you can kind of run along the bottom if you have someone else that can help you run it along the bottom while you're up here guiding. It just makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to show you then here what my old one looked like, what it looks like when you have a bad AC compressor. And you're going to hear this a lot more when your car is running than just what I'm doing now. All right, so you can see here 4 bolts. I guess it's kind of bright, sorry. 4 bolts right there, exactly how it's going to look. Electrical connector, and this is the upside down version. So when it is sitting in your car right now, this is going to be under. You're not going to be able to see this from just looking. You're gonna, if you get under the car and lay down, you will be able to see this though. This is how you know that it is really bad. This is what I heard. See how that's just completely not even attached anymore? It's exactly how mine sounded, and when the car's running, it's spinning super fast. Serpentine belt, it's just a constant rattling, and it sounds like your car's about to break. But really, it's nothing horrible. In my case, see if you can see how fast this spins. So that's me spinning the pulley. That's how much resistance was on the pulley every single time the serpentine belt tried to spin it around, and is exactly why mine snapped. So if you look here, you might be able to see a little bit of the, I guess you can't really, there's a little bit of the bad serpentine belt still stuck in there just because it like froze onto it. Another thing that goes bad is just the inside of all 3 of these should be filled with bushings. I shouldn't be able to move anything like this. This should not move around. So very annoying sound mixed with the fact that this is more seized. It should just kind of glide. There should be no noise. Obviously your car engine running, but there shouldn't be any distinct noise from this. So yeah, basically that is how you know it's bad. This is what it did to my old serpentine belt. Just shredded it. So yeah, basically what you're gonna have to do is, if you do, oh, I guess I already shut the hood. All right, so if you do have a bad, if you're hearing a sound, I even smelled the burning belt from inside the car. So if you smell a burn, if you hear a rattle, or if your AC just isn't working, I'd encourage you to go down, put your ear down by the belt while it's spinning, while the car's running. See if you can just hear and identify where that rattle is coming from. If it's coming from the AC compressor, don't bring it in and have a mechanic tell you exactly what's wrong and then quote you for a $1,000 job. They're gonna pull off a lot more than I did. Just to make it easier for them to get their hands in. They're gonna say, oh, we need to drain the coolant and all this other stuff. You don't need to drain anything. It just has 4 bolts. You just gotta make sure that there's no freon left in the AC compressor. There's a single bolt that you can crack, and then have a friend with a pump to just remove any remaining freon for you. But other than that, it's very simple, as how I explained, just to remove it. If you're like me and it's really cold with the snow here, can be a lot harder to do with this in the winter, but as it starts to warm up in the spring, summer here, very easy way to save yourself $1,000 and fix your car, just to help it to run a lot smoother and for a lot longer as well. So I hope this helped someone out. If it did, please drop a like, subscribe to my channel to help it grow, and leave any comments in the that you have if you have any other questions, or maybe anything else about how the process went for me.